Rob became a $7 million man at age 27.
AKA Padders. If it's Monday, that means it's Extreme Monday. The celebration of Rob Liefeld and Extreme Studios, everything 90s. Now, here's the thing. Sometimes we go outside of the 90s. Sometimes we go in the other direction, the way of the 80s. But the focus is Rob Liefeld, his career, his collaborators, and his overall contribution, not just to American comics, to the American culture. Now, here's the kicker. I loved, admired, appreciated Rob Liefeld's career for my entire life. AKA Padders, I was there at ground zero the day X-Force Summer 1 dropped. I had to have all of the trading cards. But hey, we're adults now. We can look at things. We can be critical. So it's Rob Liefeld, Extreme Mondays, the good and the bad. Rock and roll. My coffee is cold and old because I had one hell of a morning, my AKA Padders. I wanted to do a BADROCK transition episode to where, because I was reading BADROCK Annual, and I wanted to read these two back to back. BADROCK Annual 1995. So 2 years later, 1997. Rob Liefeld has left Image. Everything is under Maximum Press. And he's somewhat of a Marvel guy, right? He's doing Captain America, Heroes Reborn. He's got Alan Moore rocking and rolling on Supreme. The Joe Duffy stuff for Glory, solid. But look, they would miss issues. They missed an issue, too, for Supreme. New Men, Evolved. Look, Eric Stevenson, Chris Bruce. Like, the exciting stuff there. Evangeline, rocking and rolling. And he's promoting Rejects. And Rejects later would be Awesome Comics. Because by the time Rejects comes out, Maximum is over. It's a very chaotic time. And we're going to do a video that outlines the publishing phases of what Rob Liefeld was involved in the 90s. So, I wanted to read BADROCK Annual and Superman BADROCK 1A. Because previously, we've done Spider-Man BADROCK. We did Spider-Man BADROCK 1B. This is the Fraga issue. And I promised I would wrap up the story. Because we read 1B on its own. It literally is. It's just this revolving door. He goes against all the villains. That's the whole point of this. But this is what I view at the time. Some of Dan Fraga's absolute most stellar artwork. And if this is where Fraga is at this time, with some of this coloring. During that Fraga episode, that Fraga video, I just made the point where, at the time, there was a story about Rob Liefeld cock-blocking Fraga, because Fraga went to go to Marvel to pick up pages, to drop off pages, the final work of Heroes Reborn, because they were leaving the project. He showed around portfolio pieces, and Rob Liefeld, cock-blocked him, essentially. So, we're calling this video The Great Audition. And it's not Fraga's audition. This is Rob Liefeld's audition to get folded back into Marvel Comics on a production level. To potentially take over a portion of Marvel Comics. Everything that came with Joe Quesada and Marvel Knights and Jimmy Palmiotti started around this time, because they were also talking to Jim Lee, and Jim Lee was actually the one cock blocking Rob Liefeld. So Rob Liefeld gets petty, he cock blocks Dan Fraga, and then Jim Lee, through his Hero Reborn deal, cock blocks Rob Liefeld. We've done commentary on that. So I just wanted to bring you guys up to speed with Spider-Man BADROCK. Look, we have Dan Jurgens. Right, Mr. Jurgens. He's writer for both. Part 2, we have Mr. Fraga. part one, we have Murat Michaels. And Murat was always like Rob Liefeld's guy and still is. Rob Liefeld has employed Murat Michaels for just about his entire professional life. But we get some, visuals here. Like, we're trying. And everything begins with this photograph. Peter Parker took yet another stellar photograph of Spider-Man. And it's colored by quantum color effects. And during this time, too, we had, like, a little bit of like the computer color dark era. We see this a lot in Wildstorm Productions. Things got a little bit dark in American comics. But what happens here is just incomprehensible. It's not interesting. It's impossible to follow. We have weak storytelling. We have weak character art, like meaning like some of his expressions just aren't there. He can't tilt the head. This is where Murat Michaels has been for his entire career. He gets better as time goes on, but he's never quite the guy. He never quite has the instincts. So here, it's Peter Parker accepting a lower photography rate from John Jonah Jameson, which is drawn in the very non-John Jonah Jameson way. If you didn't know, right, you wouldn't pinpoint that this was JJJ. Here, our girl, this is back when they were still together. Now, also, they do the lazy thing where BADROCK they already exist in the same universe, and this sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. It's not working at all here. So they're familiar with one another, but they're also somewhat copies of each other. They're like self-aware, wisecracking individuals. Spider-Man and BADROCK both know that they're in the comic book, okay? But we have Mary Jane talking with Robbie. Mary Jane's like, hey, you promised to take me out to lunch. And she's got like giant hands, so like the hair, not quite there, but the coloring's there. And we see like there's so much potential. Even in this, like this is such a ballsy, because we have a clear panel split. But this is ballsy. And the colorists are Quantum Boys here. They really bring it together. But then we cut to, this villain with green gloves. And, Mary Jane's like, hey, we'll have lunch later. And Robbie's like, he pumps the Peter Parker stock. He's like, Peter Parker is the best photographer. While here, John Jonah Jameson is like other photographers except 3 times the normal rate. So the characterization of JJJ here, not quite, because that's not how JJJ treats Peter Parker. He hardlines him, but he doesn't he wouldn't pay anyone more than Peter Parker. If he pays Peter Parker less, it's because he's torturing and doesn't like Peter Parker. Mischaracterization there. The editor should have caught that. The editor should have caught that. So we get this villain, right? And he's like, I don't know, reading the story, Spider-Man's ultimate destruction. I think we, maybe gets revealed the next issue, but Peter Parker, is leaving with JJJ, and they're talking about Youngblood and interviewing Shaft. And this is Shaft's PR guy. He's like, Shaft, baby, you gotta do this interview. He's he's a little bit talking like he's out of Entourage and he's Ari Gold. That's, I will say this. This is what we want from a PR/agent, right? This is what we want. Nice hand here too, by the way. But the backgrounds are it's almost like Murat Michaels doesn't have a grasp of backgrounds. The characters never quite look the background, and he has this problem too with the Mission Impossible, because around this time Tom Cruise with Paramount Comics, which was in association with Marvel Comics and Tom Cruise, they did a Mission Impossible one-shot, and a lot of the backgrounds just seem absolutely incomplete, for very much the same reason. So Shaft tricks BADROCK to do the interview, and he tricks him. And here we go. This is somewhat intelligent. And you know what? I need reference for this. So hold up. Let me go grab something. All right, and this is absolute brilliance, aka Patters. I don't know if I did a video on this. I may have recorded a quick review on this. I don't know if it came out, but Maximum Press, right? This is Rob Liefeld's color separations, like extreme colors. Publisher Rob Liefeld, right? So they were really big on the return of Battlestar Galactica. I believe just as a publisher and a licensee, they did good work. The Battlestar Galactica Rob Liefeld work is there. It's there. I want to do more on this. So here, they promote just the idea of like, let's just say like Rob Liefeld Battlestar Galactica, where Shaft tells BADROCK, he's like, look, word has it, he actually possesses a tape of an episode that was never aired. So he's like, look, you have to let this guy interview you. He's a part of like Battlestar Galactica, your favorite show. And BADROCK is like, what? Like, I can do that. So we cut back to John Jonah Jameson walking with Peter Parker. BADROCK comes out of nowhere. So here's the other weird thing. I don't think like the modeling for BADROCK is never quite there. I don't know why, because we know these guys were in the studio. We know that they're working close together. We see a lot of the pictures. There's papers and photocopies of stuff like all over the walls, but no one really seems to get the proportions of BADROCK when it's like a non-close-up. And I'll show you here, because I feel like Todd Nook did the same exact thing, where he doesn't quite get it. See, like here. See, like when we pull the camera away, right, and we see like a head to toe, it's just like, what are the proportions of BADROCK? This is not being nitpicky. This is a part of comic book production, especially during this time. You can add your style to the shape, but you should be able to nail the shape of the character. And it's really vast with BADROCK. I think it's hurtful to like having a brand and having a little bit of a movement. You have to crack down on this stuff. But, you know, we have like a wonky-eyed John Jonah Jameson. We have a Peter Parker looking over the shoulder. And he's like, you're not Shaft. And he's like, I hate superheroes. You know, like, nice pose. I want to say, like, was this a Joker pose? Anyone out there, try and track down this pose. But, yeah, we get something like a nice coat. Like, yeah, Marat is still the extreme guy, still rocking and rolling. And there's a ruckus outside. And the Rhino is trying to topple the building, and BADROCK jumps out. And we have, like, a little bit of a nice pose there. So, Rhino versus BADROCK, what we always wanted, and Peter Parker emerges, right? So, and they do something cool. I always tell you guys, when you first introduce a character to a story, use like a logo. Like if they have a logo, put that logo in the caption, because it draws the eye to it, and you know it's almost like it's an indicator of a shift. So we're shifting into like the entrance of Spider-Man, and I want to say they did something similar here. I don't know if they did it with BADROCK. Maybe like here, like they do it with Rhino, and Rhino, right, may not have had a official Marvel logo. He should have, by the way. All the marquee heroes and villains should have their own original logos for any company. If you guys want to hire me, I will design logos for your entire superhero universe so you can do everything I'm talking about. Anyway, so Spider-Man, you know, comes to it, and we have like a modified spaghetti webbing, which is kind of cool. So it's Spider-Man versus Rhino. And again, too, what are the proportions of Rhino? Great, like, punch pose here, though. Like, this is a great looking panel. Like, Spider-Man ups. This is great. We also have, right, is this a Rob Liefeld nod to... Hold up here. Let me see if I have that. Yeah, we have... What? I mean, Rob Liefeld. What's Rob Liefeld's credit for this? pencil, Rob Liefeld, pencil assist. So, we are, and then we have here, this is also After Anderson. So there's so they rip off what they're ripping off, right? I get it. It's a properly homaged cover. I'm not 100% what the source of that homage is, of the Anderson homage, but I mean, okay. So moving on. So we have a little bit of a conversation between BADROCK and Spider-Man. They're somewhat, they're complimenting one another. They do a fist bump right here. And then out of nowhere, Venom shows up. So they fight Venom. Okay? And we get some of this does sell. Like, I love the dust, like the wisp here where it's just like flying. Look, the broken, beat up car. Right? They literally drive a bus into Venom. Or Spider-Man, right? Who gets the bus driven? Like, I don't even know. Who does the bus even hit? And then for part 2, it's literally, again, like we see that Mysterio's the one behind some of this, tricking them. But then it's a litany. It's the entire Rogues Gallery. And we do wrap it up at the end. It's just not satisfying enough. It's just not. Right, we see Mary Jane. Like, look at how Fraga draws Mary Jane versus Marak Michaels, and we have to say that these guys are like working close together. I mean, like, is the illustrative? I mean, is this even like what's right? You have to have an eye. You have to have a good eye. But great. I just look. This is an economical page. I love that she's wearing like the strap. Platforms, very 90s, but this is a design style page that works. John Jonah Jameson turns a corner. They get their young blood stuff for the paper. So some of these like the subplots come together, but he also draws like a good John Jonah Jameson. He also, like, Peter Parker looks young in this. So, I don't know, AKAPADers. Spider-Man BADROCK. We've come full circle on this. And as a audition piece, right? As an audition piece to bring in the Rob Liefeld method into Marvel Comics, a total failure. And that's really what the story is here. Excuse me, let me cut in real quick, my AKAPADers, friends of mine, Rob Liefeld lovers of mine. Hey, Extreme Mondays isn't quite enough. I know, we need more 90s comic book content. What about Mark Silvestri and Top Cow Productions? Well, we have Top Cow Tuesday. What about Jim Lee and Wildstorm Productions? Well, we have Wildstorm Wednesdays. So, be on the lookout. These are all weekly regular series available on this channel. Extreme Mondays, Top Cow Tuesday, Wildstorm Wednesday. Let's get back to that video. And here we go, my AKAPADers. We're fighting a war against the evil algorithm. See, I paused it there so you guys can see how I did a little play on words. But we got some graphics here to support that joke. Guys, I'm cutting into the video just to remind you that your attention to me grows this channel and it defeats the evil algorithm that's out to suppress and destroy this channel. And that's because we're on a righteous path. We're on the path of an army. And what is that path? Truth, justice, and the comic book way. Well, anyway, guys, hit that bell. Give me a comment. I read all the comments. I do my very best to respond and keep up with them. Give me a subscription. There's so many of you out there. I know you guys watch the videos and you don't subscribe. You have to subscribe. You have to keep the train going. And look. Here's the other great thing. Repost this video and show it to a friend. Yeah, I know you have a friend out there that pretends that they like comics, but you can give them my channel and it will change their minds. They will become obsessed with comic books once they delve into my channel. That's growth. That's what she said. Guys, back to the video. Let me cut in real quick, aka Pad. Quick promo. Peter A. DeLuca, aka Pad, the film buff. The film buff is my film critic moniker. It's a podcast. It's available on every single podcasting platform. During the month of October, this is 9 years running. We're like hundreds of episodes deep. Combined, the podcast is over 1,000 episodes deep. But during October, we do the 31 Days of Dread. That's one horror movie a day for the entire month of October. And sometimes we do 2 to 3 drops a day. You guys know I'm obsessed, but I love dropping the knowledge, share my passion. So many of these movies have my personal stories and personal experiences with them. Remember, guys, aka Pad, the Film Buff Podcast. Don't let me down. Let me see you. It's available on every single podcasting platform on Earth. I want to see you there. I want to see you off YouTube. Come to me. It's the 31 Days of Dread, guys. Rock and roll.